Welcome back to another FIFA 14 players to watch video, and we have another 3 players who I reckon will be deadly in this game. We're sticking along the same lines as last time, with strength and speed being the most important factors in the game, and today we have another Korean just for Deji, Ki Hyun Seol. I'm probably saying his name wrong, but he's on the left. We have Seliu Sis on the right, and one of my favourite players from FIFA 13 in the middle, Aruna Kone. We're going to start off with the striker, that is Hyun. He may not be a rare silver this time, but he has gone up by 3 overall, and as you can see, his pace has gone up by 4 and his shooting up by 4 as well. His dribbling and defending are up by 1 and his heading has gone up by 6, so he's going to be even more lethal than in the last game. So now we see his stats in a bit more detail, and 88 strength there really stands out, 87 acceleration as well. So Hyun in this game should be decent up front, but what really makes him that much better is that 5-star weak foot, so whichever way you want to take it, you should be fine. Now, as I said for the last Korean player, a lot of people don't want to use Korea or players from the Korean league, but they have a lot of overpowered players, and as you can see here, I've linked him with Woo again in centre mid, just like I did with Chaju Ri. Then Jun and Uk, or UK as I call him, on the wings are both very strong and fast players, so I think you could build a really decent silver Korean squad. Now we move on to Sis, the centre back on the right. That was confusing. Another player to have gone up this year, but this time by 4. So although his shooting has stayed the same and passing decreased by 2, his dribbling has gone up by 3, heading by 3, his defending by a whole 5, and somehow his pace is up by 10, which must be one of the biggest speed upgrades this year. He's also transferred out of Norway and into the French league. Now, clearly he may not be the most skillful player, but those physical stats, man, 90 jumping, 87 acceleration, 86 balance, and even more than that. These are what you want in a centre back, and even though his skills stats aren't great, his tackling is still decent, so he could be awesome at the back. Now from here you could link him into any players from the French league, but if you're aiming for a silver team, these are some of the players you might want to link him with. They all have the stats for what you want in that position, so Malbranck, for example, may not be the fastest for a centre mid, but 81 passing will do really well in a silver tournament. With Sis there are so many different options for a team to build around him. This is just one of many. Now, onto the legend that is Kone. Or if you've watched my Ultimate Team, you know I call him Cone, and I'm just going to stick with that, okay? So Cone is the only player today that hasn't increased overall, and when you look individually at his stats, they have all remained the same, except pace, which has actually decreased by 1. This doesn't necessarily make him worse in FIFA 14, and as we move on to his detailed stats, nothing here has changed from the last game. His acceleration and sprint has decreased by 1 from FIFA 13, but his strength was 80 and it's now 84. He's kept his 4-star weak foot and 4-star skill moves, so if you've played with him before and you know how good he was in FIFA 13, he'll be just as good this year. Obviously there's so many possibilities for Kone, you know, whatever, and who you could play him with, but what I've gone with Oxlade-Chamberlain and Podolski, who are both very quick and very strong, so they may be worth looking at. Then anyone in centre mid really. I just went with Jack Wilshere just because he's decent, an all-round player, and fits in really. So that is it for this episode of Players to Watch, and it is not long before you can start getting these players, so if they do become expensive, do not say I didn't warn you guys. So thank you guys for watching, please leave a like if you'd enjoyed, and see ya. Changed his stats. He's still at Zenit, he's still Brazilian, obviously. The only thing is his pace. His pace has dropped by 4, which is quite dramatic. His dribbling's increased by 1, shooting stayed the same, defense stayed the same, headings all the same. Passing has gone up by 1, but that doesn't really affect Hulk because everyone is selfish.